movies!
Sony's Spider-Verse, it's been interesting to say the very least. Despite being called the Spider-Verse, it's a series of 6 movies that does not include Spider-Man. It instead focuses around characters in the Spider-Man universe. Now, these 6 films include the Venom trilogy, Morpheus, Madam Web, and this weekend's new release, Kraven the Hunter. Now, these movies, they're not exactly cinematic masterpieces. The Venom trilogy is mid at best, has its moments. Morpheus is campy, not very good. And Madam Web is laughably bad. It's considered one of the worst, if not the worst movie of 2024. And while the Venom trilogy has made money, the others have lost a ton. Now, Sony has announced that they are ending this universe with Kraven the Hunter. So what do we have here? Can the Sony Spider-Verse go out with a bang and have a hit with Kraven? Or is this just another bad Spider-Verse film? Well, before we answer that, let's talk a little bit about the plot for the film Kraven the Hunter.
Let's chat.
Nikolai Kravinoff is a powerful crime boss determined to make his sons tough. He takes them on a hunting trip. The brothers, Sergei and Dmitri, become separated from the group. A lion suddenly appears and attacks the 2 boys. Sergei is gravely injured and near death when a mysterious young girl makes him drink a magical potion. The potion not only saves his life, but it gives him animal-like powers. We flash forward 16 years later to find Sergei has taken the name Kraven the Hunter, and he's become a vigilante killer, doling out justice to the bad guys. Alexei, aka the Rhino, decides that he's going to stop Kraven before Kraven comes after him. He does some research. He finds out Kraven's secret identity as Sergei, so he kidnaps his brother Dmitri to draw him out. Now, battle lines have been drawn, and Kraven and the Rhino are locked into a pitched battle to the death. So what works in this film? Aaron Taylor Johnson plays Kraven, and you know what? He's really good. Johnson seems to be hitting his stride as an action star over the past years, and he doesn't disappoint in this one. Russell Crowe, who plays crime boss Nikolai, also does a solid job in his role. I've always liked Crowe, dating back 20 years, and this is the kind of role that suits him. What doesn't work here is, well, everything else. Let's start with the special effects. Anyone remember the early 2000s Sci-Fi Channel B-movies like Sharknado? Well, those had better effects than this. There are several scenes where we're supposed to believe we are watching Kraven climb up walls or buildings, and it looks like the worst computer graphics I've ever seen in ever. The special effects looks like they were made by a year 1 computer programming student. The movie also has a really choppy script in that it starts in the present, then it goes on a long flashback before returning to the present, and then it jumps around from location to location, scene to scene with little rhyme or reason. There's a couple laugh out loud moments here, but sadly I don't think they were meant to be funny.
That's terrible.
The film is a little over 2 hours long, and boy, you feel every second of it. And finally, this is supposed to be an R-rated action movie. And other than the very beginning and the very end, you get very little action or violence. Frankly, going into this film, my hope is that it would just give me some mindless fun, mindless action, mindless violence. Instead, it was just mindless. And outside of Johnson and Crowe, the acting is weak across the board. A bad script and weak acting are a bad combination. Look, in comparing this to the previous 5 Spider-Verse movies, honestly, it's only slightly above Madam Web in terms of quality. So if this is truly the last Spider-Verse film, it definitely goes out with a thud. It's a misguided action movie that ends Sony's Spider-Man cinematic universe with the type of whimper we've come to expect from this poor Marvel offshoot. that wasn't even allowed to feature the very character it's based around. At least the Venom series was fun at times. With Kraven the Hunter, I just sank into my seat and groaned too often. I can't even recommend it ironically. Best to avoid this pile of crap.
I'm just happy it's over.
Well, that's it for this week. Tune in next week where I give you my thoughts and feelings on whatever I've seen. In the meantime, click that like button, subscribe, leave a comment or a question, share this video with friends and enemies alike. And as always, thank you for giving me your valuable time, and I'll see you next week.